I'm ready to put the base to my Roubo workbench together, which is going to be pretty exciting, and I'm kind of a little nervous about it. So I'll be putting the 4 legs and the 4 stretchers together and using the dowels to connect those together as well as glue. So after a very long time making this, hopefully it will all come together and go together good. I already did a test fit, so that looked good, so it's all ready to go. Alright, I'm ready for the big glue up of the base. I got everything set up. My glue bottle's full. I got a hammer to pound these in. I'm going to try to go as fast as I can, because when I did the test fit yesterday I did notice you can move it just the tiniest little bit, so in case I need to get it just square or anything, I want to make sure the glue isn't dried by then, so I'll just go as fast as I can, and I have no idea how hard it will be to pound these in. One forum said it wasn't too bad, so I've got them pencil shaped with a little bit of wax on the end so it can go around the tenon and put pressure on that joint. So I'm all set, and I probably won't be able to move the camera angle very much, so I'll just set up one way and then build it as fast as I can. And the test fit went really well, so hopefully this will go well too. I used a nylon paintbrush to spread the glue, and that worked out really well, and it also cleaned up well at the end too. I did get a couple of those silicone brushes afterwards. I'll put some links to those down below. I'm using the silicone mat. You can see kind of the whitish mat. You can see through it a little bit. It's an 1/8 inch thick. In case the glue drips down after it dries, I'll be able to just pop right off that silicone mat. That'll be nice on the workbench later too, because I'll be able to roll it up when I'm not needing it and just spread it out when I want it. Oh, I have a link down below for the silicone mat too, if you're interested in that. So my camera angle isn't the greatest, and I can't really get a wider shot. My shop isn't that big. I just saw a video by Frank Howarth of a tour of his shop, and he has these corridors. He had like a main corridor and then corridors that fork off and go to all of his different equipment, so he can carry the wood and walk, you know, down to all the equipment. They're pretty wide, you know, areas. That's not how my shop is. It's kind of an oval walkway, and you have to kind of contort and be fairly skinny to get through there. There just isn't a lot of room. When I use the bandsaw or use the table saw, I usually have to move things around a foot or two just to give me a little extra room for that one piece of equipment at that time. So they're all on mobile bases, so it works out okay. The dowels went in lots easier than I thought. I had a 3-pound hammer. I'll have a link to that below too. That's what they said to use, but it went in pretty easily. I have about a 1/16 of an inch difference on the drawbore hole through the tenon. A couple of them did break. I don't know what to do there, so I'm just going to leave them as it is and cut them off flush. I could drill it out and put in a new one, but I don't really see the point. Unfortunately, they just broke. It's one of the things they don't put in the Workbench book. Like, hey, this happens a lot of times. Of course, I have this at high speed, but I was trying to go fast just to make sure I had time to get everything in and be able to adjust things if needed to be. Especially on these longer stretchers where I had to put in the final 2 at the same time. Alright, what's coming up right here. But it wasn't too bad. It went in pretty good. There was a little bit of a panic here when it wasn't going in very good, and I ended up tilting it up and then pounded it in with a rubber mallet, and that worked good. I did put a little bar across the top with the clamp there to keep it the exact distance of the width of the workbench on the outside of the legs. to what it's going to be, so when it dried it would stay there, but it turned out when it dried it was going to spread apart, like kind of like to where it was before, but it wasn't a problem. This flush cutting saw was really nice to cut those off without damaging the leg. And then I started on the mortises for the entire bench base. So I marked those out, and all 4 of them. And when I started doing these, I did this one mortise, and then it was the next day when I did the second one, and I checked it one more time, and you know how wood moves. Well, the base had moved. It wasn't the same as it was. And I kind of messed around, and I changed the position a little bit, but I didn't want to change the in and out position at all, because I wanted the legs to be exactly flush with the outside of the workbench top. But that's not what it was anyway. It was kind of back and forth along the length of the bench. And then the next day, when I came out, it was kind of like back to where it was. And I'd already cut the mortise anyway, but it wasn't very much movement. And when I glued it in, it popped in just fine. I'll show you in the next video after this. I'm just slightly ahead with the videos of the progress that I really have made so far. So after the router, then I just use the chisel to square up and do the final clean out. These are 2-inch deep mortises. My top is about 4 1/3 inches or so. And very heavy. Thanks for watching. Hit like and subscribe.